Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not. So, this is praised as a good movie? Could have fooled me. The Nutty Professor, a remake of the 1967, yes, same year as the original Dr. Dolittle, film starring Jerry Lewis. Only in that film, Jerry Lewis created a serum, Julius Kelp, as his character's name was, created a serum that made him cool. And the jokes came from the fact that he was nerd, geeky, that sort of thing. But this came out in the 90s, right? And the 90s are very much known for being out there and in your face and all that stuff. So we gotta go with the most obvious joke we can make. He's fat! That's right, that's the joke. He's fat. There are so many fat jokes. As a fat person, I'm almost just feel disrespected here. This is like all the jokes. Like one of the first jokes is that all the guinea pigs in the science lab escaped because his fat ass hit a button that opened all the cages. And you're supposed to be, ha ha, fat ass, look at that, you opened all the cages. But my mind is going, wait, why do you have one button that opens all the cages? That is the most dumbest thing I would ever heard. Whoever came up with that should have Sherman sit on them, because that's just, come on. Why? I'm a fat person, I can make fat jokes. But I'm just saying, why would you come up with a system where it's one button, all the doors open, and all the guinea pigs can get out? All except for one. Guess why? Because she's fat. And he's coming up with a serum to reduce fatness. But it becomes, both of these are based on the Jekyll and Hyde story. So he doesn't just become skinnier, it creates an alternate personality named Buddy Love, and that's in both films. And there's a love interest, Carla Purdy in this film, Stella Purdy in the first film. In the first film, it was kind of, the original film was kind of eerie because it was one of his students. He's a college professor, but here, she's a graduate student, so it works. It's played by Jada, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth, Pickett Smith. You know, but before 2021, before 2022, I bet you they would, point out that she's obviously wearing a wig. But I'm just gonna go past it. I'm just gonna go past it. I'm just gonna go past it. And so, one of the most memorable things about the film that I remember is Sherman's family. Sherman Klump is the character's name here instead of Julius Kelp. Names don't matter, but, his family. Hercules. And notable that all of them, except for the little kid, the little Hercules, little boy, is played by Eddie Murphy. Now, I get it. It worked in Coming to America, right? Him and Arsenio Hall playing other characters, it worked. Here, not only is he playing the Klumps, he plays this Richard Simmons-like character on a workout video, and it's one of the most annoying things I ever heard. But also, I don't know, there are some things about the Klumps I found funny. Like, a fart joke to me will always be funny. But, like, they do a scene, you do the fart joke, Hercules. And then there's another dinner scene later on in the film, and they do the same jokes over again. Farting and everything. And it's right in front of, he brought Miss Purdy to the dinner with his family. No one could say, well, Sherman, you're an idiot. You know your family. You know how they're going to act. Why would you do that? But you're supposed to be a smart one, right? I'm also very confused on the whole, like, okay, so it creates an alternate identity. Sure. But, like, I guess I'm not confused. It's just, it's a little confusing where it's like, first of all, Eddie Murphy decided that when he's Sherman, he's got to use the most annoying voice I'd ever heard. Talk like this all the time. all the time. It's kind of annoying when you keep talking like this, because you gotta talk like this, and then because you gotta differentiate when you are Sherman, and then when you Buddy Love, you gotta talk like Eddie Murphy on steroids. That's what you gotta do. You gotta talk like Eddie Murphy, because that's what you gotta do. And then sometimes he tries to go back and forth, but he snap out and he be good again, you know, or be Buddy Love again. He goes back and forth between the Eddie Murphy voice and the Sherman Klump voice. It's kind of, and again, most of the jokes are that he's fat. That's the joke. That leads us to Reggie. Women be shopping. That's what he says. And I still don't know what it means. Women be shopping. Because I don't know. I try to figure it out. I don't know. So, I'll be real with you guys, okay? A few months ago, I tried to watch this just to have something in the background and relax. I wanted to relax, watch it. I got to Women Be Shopping and became very confused. And when the whole fat joke thing started, I slowly I began to realize what this film was all about, and I turned it off. Watched something else, because it was, honestly, it's kind of disrespectful. Like, I feel disrespected as a fat person. I feel almost like I should be disrespected. Like, I don't know. It's just, like, whoever wrote this, like, this, you know, oh, the thing in this is that he's fat, so we'll write a bunch of fat jokes, but I don't know. And then it's not over, because it gets worse. After he's Buddy Love, he takes Miss Purdy back over there as Buddy Love, and becomes one of the most annoying things that I've ever seen. Not only does Dave Chappelle come out as Reggie again and do the Women Be Shopping, then you gotta have Buddy getting revenge, which makes no sense because he's not Sherman. He's an alternate identity, right? Like there's proof within the film that they're not the same person. Yet, and that Buddy doesn't care about Sherman. Yet he is doing this to embarrass Reggie, right? He's overly laughing, ha 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 ha, you know, going overly overdone. Like, I'm surprised that no one yelled cut. Hey, what are you doing, Eddie? You know, calm down, hold it back. There's clearly he was allowed to ad-lib, because there were times, so clearly, you know, Jada Pinkett's supposed to be laughing, but there's one time that she laughs and she covers her mouth when she does it. So I'm thinking she wasn't supposed to laugh at that joke, but did, and they realized it and they covered it up, but they kept it in the film. Because I don't know, it's like a Yo Mama joke. They do more Yo Mama jokes. And I get Yo Mama jokes, alright? I'm talking to a guy that put his friend in a chokehold because he did a Yo Mama joke. And because I've got that, you know, disability, I take things literally. Not so much anymore, but I did. And so I went off on him, causing, this is in the morning when my friend would come over and we'd wait in the house, in the apartment, until it was time to go over to the bus stop. Well, after I did that, my mom said we couldn't do that no more. And then my mom had to explain to me that your mama joke is just a joke. So when you're a kid, you know you do your mama jokes. Your mama's so fat, she sat in a rainbow and made Skittles. Your mama's so fat, she fell in the Grand Canyon and got stuck. You know? That sort of thing. You do things like your mom's so ugly, mom's so hairy, mom's so greasy, you know. Your mom's so greasy, I can't believe it's not butter. You know? But, like, you do that for fun. You don't mean any of the stuff. It's supposed to be for fun. What they're doing in this scene, they're doing it to piss each other off. Although, I don't think it's going to piss Buddy off, but it's more, you know. And then they do the thing where he takes his hat off. You want to fight, man? You want to fight? And he's got this stupid hairdo, which I saw coming. And then he proceeds to use him as a puppet to the loving you is easy cause it's beautiful. Do. You know, none of this is funny, by the way. It makes me go, can we move on? There's a certain point. And I looked at how much runtime is left, and I was barely halfway through the movie. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, what else can you do? This is just, when I have to look to see how long the runtime is, you know that you're not doing the job right, because I shouldn't have to do that. I should be going at first pace. Dr. Doolittle, with the issues I had with it, I didn't look at the running time once. You know, it was a fun movie compared to this. That's appropriate. My fat belly is gurgling at me in the middle of a review about a fat guy. I'll get you some food. What I'm going to do is I'll get you some food when we're done, all right? You have to wait till I'm done with this review, and I'll get you some food, okay? You got to do the Sherman Clump voice talking to your belly. Anyway, so eventually, Buddy decides he wants to be the one to control the body completely, and has this serum. So he has this. So, okay, so Larry Miller is in this. I love Larry Miller. Love him. He's not dead. Love Larry Miller. I love seeing him pop up in things. You know. And he's not really a bad guy, he's sort of antagonistic. He needs grant money from this rich dude to keep the money rolling because Sherman has eliminated all the other alumnus from the college. So this is the last guy they have to get that grant. They have to get that money. So when Sherman turns into Buddy Love again and goes on a date with Miss Purdy again, it's at the hotel where they're hosting the thing for some reason. I don't know why. But he's asked to do the demonstration, and he nails it. And then he ruins the night with Miss Purdy after taking the responsibility. What's the word I'm looking for? Basically for saying he did it and not Sherman. Like, first of all, she misunderstands, I think, because she's like, you know his research? He goes, I am his research. And she's like, hey. And I'm like, I don't think you know what you're yelling at. She took it as, like, he's the one who was behind it, not Sherman. But, like, he literally is the research. Like, he is the project, you know? So she ditches him. And then when she goes to see Sherman at his apartment, for some reason, Buddy brought the three other girls that were there back to Sherman's apartment, even though he had a hotel room. It's just so they could have a third act breakup, because that's what you have to do, I guess. I don't know. So, while watching one of his exercise tapes, he comes across the tape where Buddy saying, hey, all you gotta do, you gotta drink that stuff, and you'll be cool again. And so he dumps out all the stuff. He's done. He's no longer Buddy Love. He's going to be Sherman Clump. He's gone. His assistant said, like, he makes a big deal about his testosterone levels being too high, but that doesn't really add into anything. And so then Sherman drinks one of his weight loss shakes, and it turns out that somehow, in a sealed pop tab can, he was able to insert the serum into it. It makes no sense because it's a pop tab thing. How'd you do that? If he put a hole in it, you couldn't even do that. You couldn't stick a needle into it that way because you put one. It's a pressurized can, so you put a hole in it. You know what I mean? I don't understand how he did it, unless he manufactured his own pop tab can and replaced it. How he did that, I don't know. It makes no sense. You know, I don't get it. If they had a thing where it's like Sherman makes his own shakes, that would be something. You know, like he makes his own, wheatgrass shake things. That would be one thing. But he doesn't. They're the pop tab thing. It doesn't make any sense. It's what they needed for him to become Buddy again, because he drinks it not knowing it, and then when he falls, he's like, and it falls in the sink, and you see the glowing liquid, which, by the way, you pop the tab. Before you take a drink, everyone does this. When you take a drink, you look in the can. Everyone does it. So you'd be like, oh, that's glowing. I ain't drinking that. Oh, you too? Oh, he got me. All these. Okay, never mind. Throw it all away. That's what happened. I have literally seen anyone Everyone does that with a pop tent. I do it. So he would look. You know? I'm just saying. Maybe not everyone does, but I've seen most people do. But yeah, so he's Buddy Love again. Goes to the place. And Mama and Papa Clump, Mama and Cletus Clump are there. Only the two. We're going to have issues when we get to the second one because apparently they've enlarged the world. Hey, there's a fat joke. And I can make fat jokes. I'm fat. Enlarging the roles of the Clumps. And they were the most annoying thing in this movie. I don't want more of them. I'm sorry. Some of the stuff was funny. I did get some laughing. The argument between Cletus and Mama Clump was kind of funny at the end. Woman, I will. You know, I would. Just. By the way, Eddie Murphy yells out the N-word in this. Why isn't this movie rated R? I thought, you know, like, you do that on an album and you get a parental advisory warning. But he's able to say it twice. Why? Because he's black. He's able to say it twice in this movie. If it was, here's the thing, if it was a white dude saying it derogatorily, if that's even a word, towards a black person, then it will be rated R. Because a black person said it, it's fine. Even though kids are going to watch this movie and think it's okay to say that word. PG-13 my ass. He said it and I'm like, wait, this isn't rated R. I said it again, like, what? Come on now. Really? I think he says it like 3 times, actually. It's during the Reggie scene, by the way, too. As Buddy Love. Anyway, we get to this thing, and Buddy comes out, and he's like, you know, you don't know me? He puts the glasses on. Now you recognize me? No? This morning I used to be 400 pounds. Right? And so he begins, he's going to take transformation. He knocked out the assistant guy. The assistant guy comes running in, so he wasn't knocked out for long. And he's just like, no. And he starts changing between Professor Clump and Buddy. And eventually Clump wins. And so I was confused at first. Like, he gets fat and bursts through this tux that Buddy has on. And I was like, wait, how does that work? Because when Buddy, and then I realized, oh no, when he transforms into Buddy, his clothes are still the same size. I don't know, I guess that John Jekyll hide works too. He gets a little ripped, hide, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so he explained what happened, and he gets back with Miss Purdy, and they get the grant money, and yeah, movie's over. Look, I'm going to give it a low middle of the road. There's some things that I liked. The ending actually worked for me, I guess. It's one of those things, but like, I don't know, man. This movie did not grow on me at all. It just, I was more annoyed than enjoyed. That's what I'll say. It was more annoyed than enjoyed. I don't know, man. I am not looking forward to doing a sequel at all. I'm not. I have to. Yes, I have to. The fact that it only made 1 sequel means, well, it's not better than Dr. Dolittle 2 or 3. I don't know. It just, yeah, low middle of the road. I wouldn't say it's not worth your time. Check it out, sure, but I don't know. It just feels like Eddie Murphy was good in the 80s, and when the 90s hit, he was kind of hit or miss. You know, from then on, I would think, because you got some good ones, right? I'll say that Dr. Dolittle is a decent one. I Spy is a hidden gem of his. Tower Heist, great film. It's an ensemble film, but it's great. Check that one out. I'm just saying. He has some hidden gems in there. And I feel like the 90s where he started just, 80s were his time. So, what are your thoughts on the Nutty Professor? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.